Welcome back to the workbench. Today we will be building the EggNOG for 2 meters from Halibut Electronics. Really fun little kit, I think. I'm looking forward to seeing how well this works. The EggNOG is a matching unit for and phasing unit for an egg beater antenna. So first we'll build the unit, and then we'll endeavor to create an egg beater antenna later on. It looks like a really nice kit from Mark Smith of Halibut Electronics, and some of you may know him from the world's best ham radio podcast, which is the Ham Radio Workbench. Highly recommended. Yeah, we'll try and build it today. Mark has taken the time to create an amazing written documentation on how to build this, which feels almost unnecessary because all the printed circuit boards and the parts are very clearly labeled. So I think it should be possible to build this even without the documentation, but yeah, we'll maybe have a glance at it anyway. First thing to do is to create the balun, and there are some detailed instructions in there on how to cut the RJ3, I think it's RJ316. Maybe I should invite you a little bit more down into the action here. We did this and I moved this in here. Yeah, let's try. So basically I'm taking the shield and off to one side and twisting it. And this is probably too long, so we're going to cut this later on. But first we're gonna get this through here, and like so, and back. And Mark was nice enough to leave enough RJ316 that if you manage to, guess I shouldn't say the F word, but F this up, you have enough to try again. So let's see, what does the assembly instructions say about the how much to have sticking out? It's literally a wall of text. I can't be bothered. Let's see. This will be in here. We placed in there, so the center conductor goes through the hole, and the shield is soldered onto there. So if you want that to match, we have to bring it in closer and move the turn further down. Let's see. And the thing here is you can always just rearrange this by pushing all of this in and out of the core. So we'll use that, and let's hope we're lucky. Let's cut it. And we do the same thing on this one, which is probably a little bit harder since it's already in the core. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe a scalpel is not the best tool for this job, but it's what I have, and it's what I'm going to use. There's a saying that when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And we twist it. Nice, like so, and we should probably balance them so they are about the same length. The same stick out, yeah. Looking good. I think Mark says to leave about 1.6 millimeters, which is the thickness of the PCB. So we'll try and eyeball that. See if it works. Oh, it did. Excellent. So we'll twist that up as well. And the other one. Yeah, once again eyeballing about 1.6 millimeters. I have to remember not to mumble, because then you can't hear me. Alright, yep, that worked too. Exciting. So, when we get to this point, I think the idea is to stick the center conductors and the dielectric through the PCB, hopefully. See if we can manage. We've got one through. How about the other one? Come on, be nice. Yes, like so. And let's see if we can show how this looks when you've done it. Oh, I actually think that focused. It's amazing. So now the idea is to fold the center conductor over, and I actually did read the documentation, and Mark makes a good point of not shorting out things, and he says specifically don't short out anything, and then immediately points out that that is in fact a lie. You can short out the one, but it takes a lot longer to explain which of the two you can short than it does to just say please don't short out any of them. That looks pretty nice. I have to push this down to make sure the dielectric is still through the hole, and try and solder it on. That didn't work brilliantly. Let's see. Let's move to this one next and see if that goes better. I think it did. And I think that one is acceptable as well. Let's have a closer look. See. That's focused. Yeah, I think that's acceptable. So that was the center conductors, and now this. Let's see. Let's move some of the crud away. Now we're supposed to bend this so that this fits about on that square, and then we, in the end, we will solder, or maybe we'll do them first. Yeah, that sounds like a better idea. Again, I'm cutting these now because I didn't bother to read the instruction and cut them to the right length to begin with, but I think this is just easier. Come on, always one single string left. There we go. And some more of this super fluent solder paste. Or flux, solder flux. I think this is called solder, yes. So we'll see if we can get those on as well. Ooh. Yeah, I think the expression "now we're cooking" would be appropriate, but it's not really what we meant to do here, is it? That looked surprisingly nice. And this one. And there we go, flowed nicely. Yep. Yeah, and so next, come on. I think that's almost enough for 3. Next move is then to try and fold this back so that the core ends up approximately on that square. Let's see if we can manage. We will have to leave a little bit of cable on the outside and then try and bend it like so. See, I'm pushing up in that direction so that us not to actually drag on the solder pads. Let's see if this works. And I think it did. That looks pretty nice. And we're supposed to use this one to oh, come on, to secure it. Let's see. Where would that be best placed? There, yeah, clearly. Excellent. So, haha, we've done it. and I think the instruction says that this is the hard part, which is promising. I'm not sure the order which is recommended for the rest of it, but I'm gonna do the top next, because it is a point to try to get this at a right angle, not like this. You decide whether you want this polarized for right hand or left hand by aligning the right hand, which is underneath there, or left hand, which is underneath their symbol, with the arrow. Polarization, select polarization. On the underside of the top board, it says this side down. So this side says right hand circular polarization, and there's the arrow, so this goes on that way. And now the idea is that I can solder the top of this and then do the bottom afterwards. Let's see if we can find something to help steady this. See what we can manage. Yeah, this is not a very good angle. We'll do our best. Let's see. That doesn't look too bad, I think. The other side. Yeah, once again, I think that looks fairly alright. Let's continue on the top. Yeah. Getting the hang of this now. Yeah. I don't think having this huge piece of metal underneath it really helps with the heating. It probably draws quite a bit of the heat away, but at least it's keeping the PCBs at the right angle. Now, let's see. First of all, did it turn out straight? Not completely, but that's good enough for me. And let's see if we can focus on this. I think this looks completely acceptable. Absolutely. There's might be a, yeah. And we'll measure them again once we're done with the bottom. There's still one side left to do, but let's do a quick inspection on this. See, does that focus? Yes. That looks alright. And the last side. Once again, let's see. Can you see that? Yeah, I think you can. Doesn't look too bad. So last piece to solder on for this this round is the connector, SMA connector. You can see it's flowed nicely on the center pin, sometimes it's hard to see whether or not it's actually attached to the PCB below, so I just wanted to check that in the under the microscope, and seems it did. So now it's just this side left, should be easy enough. You as well, go on, that side. Be nice. Yeah, that's gonna have to be good enough. Not sure if I should show you this, but alright. Shouldn't touch that connector for a while now, by the way, because it's really, really warm. Don't ask me how I know. Yeah, that's it. I think that's the soldering part of the EggNOG. Took a lot longer than I expected, actually. There's some fiddly bits, not really difficult, but yeah, some fiddly bits. Let's see, there's a nice picture. Yeah, since we're done with the soldering, I can remove some of this. A very nice picture here that shows the order of things, and this is of course going into this top. So let's solder on. That's it so far. Next step for me now is to create something to be able to mount this thing on a 40mm outside diameter plastic tube, because I can't find anything in Norway that fits easily into this. So that's going to be the next thing. So I'll do some measurements and some 3D printing. After that we'll continue.